Hi, I'm Christopher McKiernan from Forest Concepts. I'm a mechanical engineer here. I'm here with LD Jeff Tell from Lignetics. Tell me, LD, tell me a little bit about Lignetics.
Well, Lignetics is primarily a wood pellet manufacturer. We've been around since the early 80s, and everything we do is about sustainability. Lignetics upcycles about 5.4 million pounds of wood residuals annually. We do that in 30 plants across the United States, one in Canada. These wood residuals would be going to a landfill. They would be a waste product, which is why we call it upcycling. So we take the wood from sawmills or flooring manufacturers, the wood waste, the sawdust, the shavings, and we turn that into useful goods for primarily consumers. What I'm working on is a little bit different, and so it's more of a, we call it our industrial group. It's more B2B. And what we're here actually trialing at Forest Concepts is a product called Naturefill. And it's a wood flour concentrate, also known as a functional biofiller. So that's used with adding to polymers. Today, wood flour is commonly used with composite decking. They buy tens of thousands of pounds of it. They have massive manufacturing operations that are quite capital intensive. And they invest in ways to handle wood flour. Wood flour is messy, it's a hassle, it's very fine, it's light. But the worst thing is it creates airborne particles that are highly combustible. So what we're doing is we're concentrating the wood flour into a pellet, which the plastics industry is used to dealing with pellets. By pelletizing it, we take away the airborne dust and the combustion risk. In addition, it's increasing the bulk density. Therefore, it can be fed into the machines like a twin screw much faster. We're seeing about 2x feed rates. And with our normal pellets that we do, and we do about 1.4 million tons of pellets a year. Wow. That would be for heating pellets, animal bedding, for your smokers or your grills like a Traeger grill. When we make those pellets, we're creating enough heat and friction in the pellet mill that it passes the last transition point for lignin. Okay. I call it melting the lignin. Yeah. Anyways, the lignin becomes kind of a liquid, and then when it comes out, it cools, and that's what binds the pellet. And with those pellets, you often see a little shiny, a little sheen on the outside of them. Well, that's the lignin. Yeah. With what we're doing, we do not want to disturb the wood. We do not want to disturb that lignin. So our process pelletizes at a lower temperature, but we do add a little bit of a polymer. Okay. And that small percentage of polymer is used to bind the pellet. But it also has an advantage when you start to use the product, because the polymer in the pellet aids in dispersion. It kind of pulls the wood along, and you get a more even dispersion of your filler within the polymer recipe. We're able to sell Naturefill at a price, hence you can call it a filler, that's lower than most polymers. And especially for biopolymer applications, which are still pretty expensive nowadays as they're being developed, we can save a real decent amount of money. At the same time, when you add wood to the polymer mixture, to plastics, you enhance some of the mechanical and physical properties for strength and some other things. You also potentially lighten compared to using a mineral filler. But going back to the bioplastic piece, you can displace a more expensive biopolymer with our sustainable bio wood, right? And so you keep that whole theme of it being a bioplastic, biodegradable, just across the board, the goodness of sustainability, and reduce the cost greatly. And that can be a huge advantage for some of these companies just getting going, right? That really want to do the right thing from an environmental standpoint, but sometimes it's very hard when you look at the actual numbers. And so I'm super excited about this product because we can aid that path to sustainability for the world. Everything's made out of plastics nowadays. And so to be able to help, that's a really great thing. Having a product, this product's patent pending. We have specialized processes, and having a product that has real differentiation, adds real value, is safer, is green, that yet could save people money,
Yeah.
that's a dream. At least, in business development, that's a dream product.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're here as we're developing the product. We are a commercial. We are selling it. We are producing it. But we're still trying to enhance it and do better.
Sure.
And so I can tell you why we're here at Force Concepts is to do some screening to get rid of the wood fines. I talked about the airborne particles, so we pelletize it. You have a bunch of pellets. However, there is this fine dust of wood flour that's kind of mixed in with the pellets. And so that's what we're doing here is running it across the screen. We're testing some different screen sizes and processes to optimize doing that so that after it's screened, you have a very clean product.
Yeah.
So if somebody happens to dump it into a hopper or whatever, you're not getting this big puff of combustible dust.
Right.
That's number one. And then in this industry, when you're introducing wood moisture, introducing anything, moisture, the moisture percentage or content within the wood is important. And for some biopolymers, it's not as important, but for your petroleum polymers, you really do need a lower moisture product.
Right.
And so we're just partially experimenting, trialing with your belt dryer and your guys' expertise, which has been invaluable on what the energy it takes to dry it. How precise can we even be at these real low levels of moisture that we're already at?
Yeah.
And so, it's more of a learning experience here.
Mm-hmm.
Although I will walk out of here, I assume, or at least Monday, with a good amount of sellable, beautiful product.
So tell me a little bit about your experience with Force Concepts.
It's been great. This is, like I said, we're trialing, right? This is a new product. And in fact, it's a little bit of a new industry for Lignetics. And so I came in here without a plan, with an outline, I'd say. But really, there's been a lot of variability, and we're learning along the way. And so what I found to be the coolest thing about working with Force Concepts on this path is adaptability and the willingness to make changes as we discover something, right? There's been a lot of discovery happening. Your guys' expertise is obvious. And to me, the real wonderful thing is the willingness to make changes on the fly, which we've been doing quite a bit. And I know that can drive a lot of, especially the operations types, just crazy. Yeah. Just tell me what you want. Well, we're figuring out what we want. And so it's been a tremendous experience. And you guys are kind of fun even. Yeah. It's been enjoyable at the same time and productive.
Great. Yeah, thank you for that explanation. It sounds like you have a lot of useful products out there, a lot of applications, and I'm excited to see what you bring to the future.
And so am I. And I appreciate all the help from Force Concepts.